finally summer in Okinawa, and I got myself a little snack. Watermelon, as you can see. Yummy, and some iced tea because it's so hot. Today is gonna be special, I would say, for some reasons, because I want to tell you a very personal story, and I struggled and thought about it for a long time if I want to tell you and if I want to share it with you guys or not. It's the story how I ended up in Japan with 30. When I moved to Japan, I just turned 30 years old. It's rare, I would say, to move to a different country with that age, in my experience. Usually when people move to Japan or wherever, they're in their mid-20s latest. Usually they go abroad for studying, right? So I took some notes because I'm gonna forget. So when did it all start? That's the big question. It started in 2016, and back then I was 27 and I turned 28 that year. And at that time I was in a long-term relationship. Not a bad one, but not a good one either. We were together for a long time and it just didn't work out in the end. Because of that, I ended up looking for something I can do for myself and on my own, and not to be a couple only. And I started karate again. I did karate for a year when I was 19. Then I stopped it because of university or like whatever reason. I just stopped it. And then I thought like, oh, I can do karate again. What happened? I got really hooked. And I practiced a lot. I'm not kidding, I practiced a lot. And a few months later, the relationship didn't work out and we split up in good terms. So Maury, we ended up going different ways. After that, I practiced even more because I had more time. So I practiced even more because I just loved it and I had so much time to do it and I enjoyed it a lot. So that's how I ended up practicing karate. And that was the time, it's 2017. I started digging and researching about karate and where it comes from. Of course I knew it was from Japan, but where are the roots? Where is the origin? Why do people practice karate? So I got curious and I found Jessie, aka the Karate Nerd vlog videos. I watched it a lot and I got lots of information. Check it out if you don't know it and you're interested in it. I ended up researching it a lot, and I had the chance to go to a seminar in Germany, which Jessie taught in Germany, and that even got me more inspired to really go to Okinawa, Japan, to find the roots of karate. So that was my first thing when I started to learn about Okinawa, where I live now. What surprised me a lot was that the place where karate comes from, Okinawa, is very different from the style I practiced back in the days. I practiced Shotokan first. So I made a plan to go to Okinawa for holidays and practice karate for 2 weeks. And that's what I did in February 2018. I was a research assistant at a university back then, and I took just normal vacations for 2 weeks. My first time to Japan, my first time to Okinawa, and I was overwhelmed. It hit me really hard because I knew no one. I was traveling on my own and it was scary. I didn't speak the language, so I was afraid ending up without any help, but they proved me wrong. Even though they don't speak English well, they will help you for sure. They're super friendly. On Okinawa, because it's the birthplace of karate, there's an organization which you can email and they help you to find someone you can practice with if you don't have connections to Okinawa as me back then. So I texted them and said, oh, I want to practice karate, Shotokan is my style. I know there's no Shotokan in Okinawa because it's mainly Japan and not Okinawan karate. So what can I do? They suggested an Okinawan sensei if I can practice with them, and he said yes, and we practiced really hard for 2 weeks. And it was so different from the style I've learned, and I was learning then, and it was just a year since I started karate again, more or less, a little bit longer. And it was just so interesting, and it got me so excited, and I wanted to learn so much more. So, but the 2 weeks went by pretty fast. I wanted to learn more. During the 2 weeks, I met actually some of my friends I'm still friends with. For example, Nick. He's like my co-star in most of my videos. Then, problem is in Germany it's rare that there are Okinawan karate dojos. Back then I went to the karate bar, talked to some people. Then it happened that I talked to a guy who said like, our karate style has some dojos in Germany, just check it out, and if you like it, have a look. That's what I did, and I ended up finding a dojo near my town I was living at, and I did it. I switched styles, I switched to Shorin Ryu, and I practiced there for a while. In July 2018 I went back to Okinawa because I fell in love with this beautiful island and I wanted to go back so badly. And because I was a research assistant, there were no lectures during the summer break, so I transferred my home office to Japan. And in Japan, the 2 months I learned more and more about the island. I was falling in love more and more, and the good thing, I spent 7 to 8 weeks, like nearly 2 months here, and the fun thing was that 2 of my friends, German friends, came visit me, and it was really nice, and then I had to go back to Germany. And that hit me pretty hard, and I didn't like it. I felt miserable and I hated my job. That was the point in my life when I decided to set a plan in action. I was 29 and I researched and got some information, and it was my last chance to apply for a working holiday visa for Japan. For the application you have to be under 30. And when you turn 30 you can still go in. So I applied. It's the most easiest and most convenient way for a European or a German person to go to Japan. You just need 3,000 euros on your bank account and you have to be under 30. The good thing is you have a working permission. You can go and work wherever you want. That's what I did. I quit my full-time, very secure, well-paid university job in Germany, left everything behind and went to Japan to practice karate. Ever since I live in Japan, since December 2018. This is more than 2 years ago, and it feels like a lifetime because in these 2.5 years it happened so much. I don't regret this decision, never. So when I moved to Japan, I had some help because the 2 months I spent here in the summer before, I started to connect with people and to get to know people. I just had in mind already, it's like, maybe I want to live here. I asked those people if they can help me when I moved to Japan, and some of them did. For example, looking for an apartment where I can live for a while, or giving me part-time work in a bar. And then I found some other part-time jobs because of these people and with the people I was connected with. So I worked in bars, izakayas, as an English teacher, as a yoga teacher, so many different things, and it was so different and the pace was so different than my life in Germany was before. And I really enjoyed that time. And after a while I knew I wanted to stay longer than just 1 year. I had to find a sponsor, and you need a company who sponsors you for a working visa. So what I had to do was to find a company or a school or something which will sponsor me to stay in Japan on a working visa. So what did I do? I dropped my CVs, my resumes at all international schools which hire foreigners as English teachers, and I hope that one of them will work out. In the beginning it looked really bad, and it's like no one wanted to hire me and I didn't have the positions I wanted, so I was really sad. But then in late July I got a phone call from my current employer. They offered me a job and I said like, oh, of course I want that job, and they can sponsor me for a visa. So I took that job in August 2019 and I worked there ever since as an English teacher in an international school. Did I study English? No, I did not. I studied theology. Was I able to teach English in the beginning? Not really. A little bit. I speak English pretty well, and my English got better and better because of my part-time jobs as an English teacher here in Okinawa, and my friends all speak English and I tried to study a little bit. I was confident that it's okay how I speak, but teaching English is at a different level, I would say. But I didn't give up, and I still try to improve my teaching skills. I ended up, after 9 months working holiday visa, finding a company which sponsored me for a working visa. That's why I was able or am able to stay in Japan longer. But the big question is, did you ever regret moving to Japan when you were 30 years old? And I can say no, I don't regret it at all. And I don't regret turning my life inside out, upside down, with a fresh start in a new chapter of my life, because during these years I live here, I learned so much and it changed me a lot, and I grew as a human being so much. It opened my horizons, and I really like the human I turned out so far. And I'm still practicing karate. And my advice for people who are unhappy in their life situations, struggle with their decisions they can't make or they won't make or they're just afraid to make. If you want to change them, you have to be passionate about it. It helps a lot. I was passionate about karate, and that's what helped me to chase my dreams, to try to pursue my dreams. You have to take some risks. No risk, no fun, as it says. And it's true. I risked a lot and I left a lot behind. And sometimes I wonder how my life would have turned out if I would have stayed in Germany. That would be so interesting to know. Was I afraid to move to Japan on my own that late? 30 is not old, I know that, but that late? Yes, I was. So afraid. I regretted my choice. No, I doubted my choice a couple of times and still do. Because life in a different country is so challenging, pushes you out of your comfort zone so many times that I wondered if it was worth it. I can say with confidence it was, and I would do it again. And one other thing is that my family, my friends in Germany were really supportive and still are. I miss them a lot, of course, but without them I think it wouldn't have been so easy as it was. And if you want to change something, I encourage you to change it, to go for it, to reach out, because you can do it. If I was able to do it, you can do it. And it sounds like I achieved a lot, and maybe I did, and maybe I can be proud, but it's not that I have superpowers. You can do that too. Be all you want. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my story, because I was really afraid to share it, or like I was struggling if I want to share it, but I think it was the right decision, because I think if I can reach out to some of you, even if I only motivate one person out there to chase his or her dream, then I'm happy that I was able to help. Have a belle day and see you in the next one. Bye.